Balken nach oben gehen. Ja, genau, jetzt rede ich gerade. Ich sehe den grünen Balken, sehr gut. Und da rede ich, jawohl, perfekt, alles klar.
Test, here we go.
Wenn ihr gemutet seid,
Hallo?
ist rot.
Hallo?
Okay, verstehe.
Hallo?
Seht ihr von da hinten nicht, aber so. Du bist die Kiste, die große Kiste, du bist die Kiste.
we go.
Das geht ja gut los.
Angehalten werden, der Rest ist mir egal. Ich liebe dich auch.
Seht es jetzt alle?
Bruno, sag mal trotzdem mal, schwer die Banner?
Ja. Schwerer als deine Kamera.
Okay.
Ingo, hast du das Wasser für mich? Okay, 10 Sekunden. Okay,
Welcome to the Pokémon National Championship 2015 in Stuttgart.
Da bin ich auch in der Liga. Nee, das war nicht. Doch, da bin ich. Da stehe ich irgendwo. Oh. Das ist das. Da war ich nicht.
I got you on my mind, long time, long time. It's been a long time. I got you on my mind, long time. One love, one heart.
What a great day for some amazing Pokemon action. A very warm welcome here from Stuttgart to the German and Austrian Pokemon National Championships. We have quite some action going on today for us. Alongside with me, Sebastian Ernst. My name is Julian Scharf, and we just can't wait for these games to finally begin.
Yeah, Julian, that's right. Hello from my side. I'm happy to present you the first stream this year, this season. Thank you to Blacklight as well, which is, therefore, are we able to set it up. I've seen a lot of good players out there, Julian, don't you? I've seen international champions like the Italian champion, the last year's winner of Germany, Marcus Stutter. And we are also seeing you live on Twitter if you use the hashtag Pokemon 2015 Germany, as you can see it up there. Here you go.
It is an international event, as Sebastian just said. It's not only open for German and Austrian players, but for everyone who can make it here to Stuttgart on this beautiful Saturday. And we have quite some people who actually made it here. So just a few statistics for you. For the trading card game, we have 23 registrations in the junior department. For senior, it's 42. For masters, 144. And we have folks out of Austria and also Luxembourg. So welcome all to everyone here coming from international places. For the VGC, we have a very amazing number, which is absolutely filling the hall to its capacity. We have 414 masters out there, 24 juniors, and 67 seniors. This really means that the hall outside, as you just saw, is absolutely packed.
Yeah, over 400 competitors. That's a lot. And as we start with VGC, I will just quickly explain you the rules. So every player brings a team of 6 Pokemon. You choose 4 out of those 6 Pokemon to battle with, and it's a doubles game. So you always have 2 Pokemon on the field battling 2 Pokemon on the opponent's side.
Exactly.
We are waiting for the national championship champion, Marcus Stutter. He is playing against Jonathan. Let's see. I don't know. I guess they are just finding seats. So
we have a couple of minutes to talk and to walk you through the action, what you can expect from today. As you can imagine, we have the VGC, so the video games going on, but at the same time, out there already battling is the trading card game. So we're waiting on the featured match to get settled.
Yeah.
Once they have taken their seat out in the stage, we will be setting these players up. We will be connecting the 3DS devices, and then we'll be ready to go for quite a couple of hours of action. So I hope you're ready, Sebastian.
Oh, I
what
hope
are you
you
expecting
are.
from today?
Oh, a lot of fun actually. I'm really looking forward to new teams arriving. As we know, every competition is pretty tough to win, and you have to have a pretty tough team to win it. So the meta game is kind of settled down already. We got some good stuff teams like Kangaskhan, Mega, Cresselia, Landorus, Suicune, stuff like that. But we have also seen unusual teams winning regionals this season. So it's, I don't know who is going to win. I guess hard to say. We will see some top cut teams, like I mentioned, with around Kangaskhan, but there are also other megas like Mega Metagross, Mega Gardevoir, who are really strong, who don't need that much support like others do. Let's see who is going to be on the top.
Now there's a lot of discussion going on, especially around Mega Kangaskhan.
Yeah.
Just because its amazing ability to be able to attack twice, with the second attack not being that hard as the first one. What is your take on Kangaskhan maybe being a little bit too strong for the current meta game?
Well, it's actually a really strong Pokemon, and it's a really easy Pokemon to use. That's why so many people use it. But on the other side, many people are prepared for Mega Kangaskhan. So there are a lot of counters around. There are steel types like Aegislash. Kangaskhan can touch Aegislash. There are items like Rocky Helmet on random mons that cause damage on Mega Kangaskhan because it hits twice. Rocky Helmet triggers twice, so that's a lot of damage going on. And I guess, I don't know, I don't want to talk too much about Mega Kangaskhan because I hope it will not win today. I want to see some freaky team winning today, like we got in the regional. Like Mega Gengar won the English regional. That was a really cool team. Maybe we're going to see some stuff like that. You want to hear something about the meta game right now?
So especially concerning the doubles, because a lot of viewers out there, maybe you are used to seeing competitive play for VGCs, but a lot of you maybe enjoy just playing the video game on their 3DS device, and you can tell that there are different ways of battling. For example, you can play singles with 6 Pokemon in play, but this format obviously is different. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how this format of doubles is affecting players' choice of Pokemon in their team.
Well, the first big difference is that you do not bring your 6 Pokemon. The battle begins before. So you have to think about which 4 Pokemon are good against my opponent's team, because you see it in team preview. You think about, what to choose, I don't know. Well, actually, you should know. That's the first difference. Picking 4 Pokemon out of 6, that's hard. So next step is, you have to have a good lead. You have to have 2 good Pokemon leading against the other team. You can destroy a lot with a bad lead matchup. So you're playing from behind and beginning from the match. So choosing good leads is always essential to have the momentum, to have the upper hand of the match. So that's really, really interesting. Another thing is Protect is coming into play a lot. You don't see that move that much in singles. So
that's right, yeah.
Once you want to double up into a Pokemon, so you attack it twice with your 2 Pokemon, and the Pokemon protects, that's hard. Yeah.
Now, if I'm a beginner and if I'm listening to you and you are talking about lead management, for example, or making mistakes by leading with the wrong Pokemon, maybe using the Protect move, how can I get better and maybe be able to take the next step into competitive play?
Practice, 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 practice. I like watching videos, to be honest. I like watching streams like you do right now. I like watching YouTube videos. I like playing myself. I like playing on BattleSpot a lot. And you have just to train a lot. You can read a lot of stuff like articles. We got articles set up. Just follow us on Twitter and Facebook. You will gonna see the coverage today and at amigo.com. You see Amigo right in the back. Oh, I see we got the team sheets of our 2 players.
Exactly, and especially if we are looking at the team sheets, and we will see them on the screen very soon. What I learned a lot from is just watching these players battle it out for the best places in the world. I've seen on other channels, for example, from the Pokemon company itself on YouTube. If you watch these channels and watch their regionals unfold, you can see the best players battling it out. And just seeing them battling, I sometimes don't understand exactly why they are doing some certain things, but I think you can just learn from it and see what it takes.
That's why we are here. That's why I'm here to commentate. Maybe I can tell you some things. Why do they do stuff? But it's not always that obvious. You sometimes see players playing obvious. You sometimes see players playing not that obvious, and you sometimes see players playing high above us, and we can't even follow what they are going to do.
They're leveling up, and certain different regions of thoughts where we can just only try to imagine what they are thinking about when
that's
using a certain move.
That's pretty hard to tell, but I hope we can show you some matches today where we can commentate on, and we can help you to learn a bit about Pokemon.
Now let's have a look at the sheets of Pokemon we have. Sebastian is laughing just because I have a sheet in front of me which is rather bad handwriting, but I think I can figure out the Pokemon. So Marcus is battling it out with Sylveon, Gengar, Kangaskhan. Here we go. It's an Aegislash, it's Rotom Wash, and Landorus in its Terra form.
It's quite a standard team, I'd say. It's like there is no Pokemon you would not expect, as Marcus is a very talented player. He relies on having a good matchup against a wide array of Pokemons, so that's pretty standard team. He can win through plays and not through matchup. That's why he likes the Kangaskhan and Gengar. Maybe you remember that Marcus won last year's national with his typical Kangaskhan and Gengar lead. Last year he had a Rotom Heat instead of a Rotom Wash. Landorus T is just a pretty standard one. Like Aegislash is therefore for Kangaskhan. He got Double Ghost. He got Sylveon, which is very strong. It can fire off strong Hyper Voices because of the ability Pixelate, which makes moves to Fairy type. So it got Stab on it, and it hits both Pokemon of the opponent's side pretty hard. That's a pretty good deal to hit both Pokemon on the opponent's side hard. That's pretty cool.
And maybe you're asking yourself, why are we looking into these team sheets in such great detail? Well, in these formats, it's not allowed to change any Pokemon in between rounds. So for Marcus, he has to decide which 6 Pokemon is he bringing today and also tomorrow if he qualifies for the next round. So these 6 Pokemon will not be changed, their attacks, their abilities, they will remain the same throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Wanna have a look at Jonathan's team. It's a Rain team with Politoed, Ludicolo, Mega Metagross, Hydreigon, Terrakion, and Thundurus. So it's pretty standard. It's a Metagross supported by Rain, because Metagross got weakness to fire attacks, which is lingered by the Rain. So we got Politoed and Ludicolo to back up the Metagross. We got a Hydreigon to back up the weaknesses of Metagross. We got a Terrakion and a Thundurus, which are both pretty standard. I'm really looking forward. The matchup is not that good for Marcus, I guess. His only water resist is Rotom Wash, which has a Grass Weak. Therefore, the Ludicolo makes it... it's easy for the Ludicolo to kill the Rotom Wash. I'm pretty looking forward to the matchup, how Marcus is going to play and how Marcus is going to win this match.
Is it easy to assume that Jonathan is going to lead with his Politoed just because it's going to set up the Rain?
Yeah, I guess we will see the Politoed Ludicolo lead, and I guess we're going to see the Kangaskhan Gengar lead by Marcus. I don't know. I don't want to tell which ability the Kangaskhan got, because there are like 2 abilities which are good on it. Scrappy, which makes it fake out on ghosts, and there is Inner Focus, which lets it not to which avoids that it fake out, that it flinches. Sorry,
so you could call it a defense or an aggressive mode in this case.
Yeah. So if the Ludicolo decides to fake out on the Kangaskhan, it may stay in normal form, have the inner focus, not flinch, and attack right away, either the Ludicolo or Politoed. Gengar is not able to get flinched, so I guess he will lead with Gengar Kangaskhan against the Politoed Ludicolo. I bet Marcus is going to bring the Rotom Wash as well, and I bet Marcus is going to bring the Landorus, which got a good matchup against Metagross, Thundurus, Terrakion, and if it is Scarf, which we see a lot of Scarf Landorus Ts, it got a good matchup against Hydreigon. So I bet we will see Politoed Ludicolo versus Kangaskhan, Gengar, Rotom Wash, Landorus T, and on this side, Jonathan probably brings his Mega, his only Mega, Metagross, and he probably brings, I guess, the Hydreigon to hit the Aegislash hard, to hit or wall the Rotom Wash, to hit the Gengar hard, but it's a bit scared about Sylveon, and Sylveon got a good matchup. His only resist is Metagross, and Landorus threatens Metagross a lot, so does Rotom Wash, which can burn it or paralyze it. So I'm really looking forward.
So there are quite some assumptions we are bringing on right now as the players are being set up. Now, besides a great Pokemon team, what else do I have to bring to be able to win the whole thing and not only one round?
Well, first off, you need luck. You need a good day. You have to have luck because Pokemon is kind of luck-based and the VGC part, and you have to have a good mind. You have to be focused. You have to be tough the whole day. It's pretty hard to say, yeah, I know, but thinking more than the opponent does is a pretty good deal to do. So we just heard we are...
Just in a couple of moments we will be seeing a spot, but before we do that, you can tell obviously that sometimes Pokemon is luck-based, but what do you do if you're affected by bad luck in one round?
You just get over it. Stand over it, shake it off, like Taylor Swift said, shake it off, and just play as you usually would. Don't get too nervous, don't hurry, just calm down, cool down, maybe bring yourself into the position where luck doesn't matter that much. That's what good players do, that they try to avoid luck-based moves. Good players avoid playing moves with low accuracy, so they are not affected by luck that much. Really good players don't use the move like Swagger a lot on the opponent, but it's a 50-50 move, and you don't want to rely on a 50-50 chance, do you? So just avoid luck. But I don't think we are going to see that much luck outside of the potential rock slide flinches from Landorus and Terrakion.
Yep.
But
we don't want to spoil the action, or we don't want to tell you yet what kind of movesets these players are bringing.
Well,
just,
those are pretty obvious.
Those are pretty obvious. You're saying, okay, I'm going to believe you that one. But we're going to see soon if one or the other player is relying a little bit on luck or not. As we are in the final moments of starting our first match.
Yeah.
As you can see, we are eagerly waiting on the players to get started. I'm very sure that the players outside are also waiting for the tournament to finally start. We are here already opening the doors at 7 a.m. So it has been 4 hours into the, or maybe 5 hours. Is it 5 hours? I think it's already 5 hours into the day. So it's really about time for us to get some serious Pokemon action going on. What do you think? How long is this day going to last for you as a player? If you get here at 7 a.m., what do you have to plan on? How many hours do I have to stay focused and play this day in order to make it to Sunday?
The whole day. You have to stay focused the whole day. So eating is good, drinking a lot is good. No beer. Just drink some water, focus yourself, stay cool.
There wouldn't be any beer here anyway, just to make this one clear.
Now that makes a good player. Being focused the whole day. That's pretty hard. At the end of the day, you're pretty wasted. So just stay focused, eat enough. That's it. And first of all, you have to participate. Why aren't you here, guys? We want to see you out there on the screen, man.
There's a lot of going on, not only the tournaments, but the hall is packed with, I think, about 200 people not participating in the tournaments themselves. They are just here for the fun. They have so many friends to meet here, maybe new people to get to know. Also for me, there's so many old friends I'm meeting here, or even new people I'm meeting up. So if you have the chance to make it here to Stuttgart, just come by the Karl-Benz Arena and step down the couple of stairs here into the hall. And I'm sure you will have a fun-packed day.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
only today, but obviously also on Sunday with the finals coming up, which you can watch live on the big screen outside, or obviously here in the live stream.
I'm really looking forward to Sunday, man.
We will be having a high-quality crowd out there.
Yeah.
With all the masters we have.
Cheering.
As we saw, not only for the VGC, but also for everyone out there who's interested in the trading card games. We have everyone here who has made a name out of himself during the last years with a couple of titles on the European stage also. We have Niklas here. We will be seeing Niklas in a featured match hopefully very soon. So for all of you interested in the TCG, I can tell you it's going to be a very quality. We have quality featured matches coming up for you.
I'm really looking forward to see the TCG.
We're going to learn this one too. We have a whole day for this.
And I'm really happy that you are the pro in TCG.
Okay, I'm going
In
to
the trading card in the trading card game.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a pro, but I just talked to Niklas because we were talking about him, and I asked him, what does it take to make it to a pro level?
What did he say?
And I myself, I enjoy playing Pokemon, also the Pokemon trading card game online. If you are playing this one, I can recommend it to you. But it's not only about the practice, it's really about being able to not only think one step ahead, what could my opponent possibly do next round, but he says the best of the best are able to even stagger that to 2, 3, 4 turns maybe in advance, so that they are thinking about what can my opponent possibly do next round, but also in the next 2 or 3 rounds, and prepare and act accordingly.
Pretty similar to the VGC as well. The good players really know what they are going to do in rounds.
As you can see here, we get
got the deck
information.
sheets.
As we are talking about the trading card games, we'll be having our deck list for the first featured match of the TCG. But as we told you, it's going to be VGC for the first time, so we will have video games coming up very soon, as I just heard that the players are taking their seats.
I hope so.
And once they are connected with their Nintendo 3DS, we can get to the action, because I can imagine you would like to see some Pokemons and not only 2 humans here battling it out on the commentator screen.
I'm really hyped right now. I really want to see Marcus battling. There are a lot of good players outside. I never heard of Jonathan Schneider or something.
You will have a chance to shine right now, right? On this big screen. How do you know Marcus?
Well, actually through the internet. We met through the internet on forums and stuff like that, where players organize themselves. And last year we have been to Worlds together. That was pretty cool. We played Pokemon together, but also had some fun at the hotel rooms and outside. It was pretty cool, and he's a pretty relaxed guy. I like him a lot. He studies in Bavaria, where I come from. Oh, I think we are going to see the match right now. Let's see.
Startfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung. Passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Protoshock. Jetzt im Handel.
Protoshock on German, or Primal Clash.
And we see some Twitter feeds as well.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des
If you want to appear on this screen, just make sure to include the hashtag. You can see it in the down left corner. It's hashtag PKM2015 Germany, all in one word. And you can make it to the screen here, communicate with us. We would love to have your feedback on the featured matches and also on the quality we are providing to you once we will be starting with our first match.
Startfrei für die neueste
I would love to get feedback
Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung.
from you guys.
As you can see, there's a little change in priorities because the VGC will take a little bit longer than expected. We are giving you the featured match for the TCG, and as you can see here on the left side, we have Karl, who is the reigning champion for the German championship last year, and he's also playing against Vietuan. And we have their deck list in front of us, but for you out there interested in trading card games, you can tell very easily this is a mirror match between Seismitoad and Slurpuff.
I do not know much about TTC, but as you told me, there are a lot of Seismitoads, Slurpuffs teams out there. Why are they played so often? Are they so good?
They are just one of the best cards you can play in this current meta game. As you can see here on the right, we have Viet, and he is playing an N, which is basically shuffling all your cards into your deck, and you will draw the number of cards exactly to the same amount as you have prize cards. And as we are seeing the screen, you can see that Karl has his Seismitoad powered up already, while Viet is struggling a little bit, getting the right energy attached to his one on the right side with just one water energy, but I think I see a water energy in his hand here. Yeah, and he is attaching it to it, so you should be ready to attack, and yes, he's attacking with that Quaking Punch that is causing the opponent to not be able to play any item cards. As you can see here, there was a Versus Seeker in Karl's hand. He's not able to play this round just because of Quaking Punch.
So Viet is in the front.
We have, I can see that there are 4 prize cards being drawn by Karl already, so I think Karl has had the first punch in this match.
Okay.
And he also has a Slurpuff. He's playing Lysander's trump card. Now, both players will shuffle their discard pile into their deck, and will only leave Lysander's trump card behind. As you can see, Viet just left this card out. They are shuffling their decks, cut it once. And this is an easy way to reset your discard pile. If the game is advanced a lot, Lysander's trump card will bring it down to a full deck of cards already, except for the cards that are in play, obviously. Now, Karl has some options here. He has attacked already, as I can see, and obviously Viet tried to play an item card here, but he couldn't, as Karl pointed out. An item card is not possible to play. Now it's Karl's turn.
I see a lot of glimmering cards. Are those regular full art cards? Do you prefer those full art cards?
There's some full art cards. As you can see, the Seismitoad on the left side from Karl on his bench and also now active. And he used Cassius or Olivier to shuffle his Branavats into his deck because it was damaged heavily already. And he just brought forward another Seismitoad, attached double colorless energy, and dealt damage for the knockout for the second Seismitoad from Viet already. And this game is all but over if Karl can keep up the momentum here with only 2 prizes left. Yeah, and as you can see, Viet scooped. He picked out of his card saying, okay, Karl, you won. That's a fairly common thing to do. If you think you are far behind in a match, and you think you just can't win it, you have to watch the time.
Okay.
If you want to make it back into the game, you will have to have enough time to make it back and to win 2 more matches in a best-of-3 competition.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to talk about the TCG yet, so the format is going to be...
I enjoy it.
The format is going to be best-of-3, so we will have a maximum of 3 games or 1 match. And the first game was won by Karl, so it's... the graphics is going to update very soon. It's going to be Karl 1 and Viet 0, for my knowledge, as far as I know. Oh, it's 1-1. I am sorry. So it's 1-1. Karl just made the comeback. So we have quite some time for the last round. And this is going to be the decisive round. Karl obviously wants to make a winner here, coming back from his last year's win for the championship.
Yeah. How long does a game usually take you in TTC?
Oh, that's very different. It depends on the different decks you are playing, and also how much damage you can deal per turn. And obviously, those Seismitoads, they don't deal that much damage per turn.
Okay.
Or they have only the usual attack they're using is only 30 damage per turn. But it really depends. There are some decks out there which will end the match very soon, one side or the other.
You try to power it up, don't you? The attack of Seismitoad, I heard about that you try to power up or help with some toxic or burn to increase the damage Seismitoad does.
If you look at Karl's hand, you can see the Hypnotoxic Laser in his hand. That will cause the defending Pokemon to be poisoned. Now, with Viet starting, he has an advantage now. Even though Karl would be the being able to attack first, he now has a headringer attached to his Seismitoad. That means in this round he is not able to attack whatsoever.
Okay.
So he chooses to play Burbank City Arena, which will put 3 damage counters in between turns on poisoned Pokemon, and poisons the first active Pokemon from Viet. And he uses all his item cards as long as he can. And here we go. This is why we call it a mirror match. Here we go. There's another headringer attached to Viet's Seismitoad. And I think his card is now playing a Professor Juniper.
What does Headringer do?
Headringer increases the costs of your attacks for Pokemon X. So that means it's not only costing Seismitoad to attack for 2 colorless energy. Now it has to have 3 energy cards attached to it to be able to attack. Now I'm interested. Viet is still able to play item cards, so he's going to make use of it. He's going to use an Ultra Ball, and I think he's going to take a Slurpuff here. Yes. So evolving into Slurpuff will cure him from poison.
Okay.
He's also got the Float Stone attached to it, so he can retreat his Pokemon when he wishes to do that. And he's also able to draw 2 cards now with the Pokemon power from Slurpuff while it is active.
So that's for every Pokemon? Once you evolve it, it gets freed from Toxic?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And now we go. It's a Professor Sycamore. It's doing the exact same thing as Professor Juniper does. He draws 7 fresh cards.
Whoa. And Carl is shuffling his hand. They both seem a bit nervous.
Swirlix, yeah, and he's putting it on the bench. I was wondering when he was going to do that. Now he has another Ultra Ball, and I think, which he could do, he could search another Seismitoad, which does not have a Headringer attached to it yet.
Okay.
But I didn't see any. Yeah, he does. But I didn't see a Muscle Band in his hand, so he's now opening him up for another Headringer from Carl if he does not find a Muscle Band. Is he going to attach the water energy?
Let's see.
He's first of all drawing 2 cards for his Slurpuff.
Okay.
He doesn't get the double colorless. If he would have gotten the double colorless, he would have been able to attack right away, and this would be huge for him. What he can't see, I think, there's a Team Flare Grunt in Carl's hand, so he is able to discard. Oh, that's a nice move. He is using Zoric to discard his Headringer, and now that he is able to attach a double colorless to his Seismitoad, he's able to deal the knockout for Slurpuff, bringing himself back into the game, and now the item lock is on. Viet is not able to use any item cards.
That's a big thing, I think. I do not know much about the card game, but I know that playing trainer cards is a big thing to success, isn't it?
Yes, especially in these decks, there are very few energy cards, which is uncommon for most Pokemon decks. But this deck doesn't need that many energy cards anyway, because you only attack with Seismitoad's first attack, which is only costing you 2 colorless energy. And here we see the Team Flare Grunt also he had this in his hand, and now Carl has the same issue. Not having enough energy maybe to attack. He's using a Hypnotoxic Laser to poison the Seismitoad. Then he is drawing a card from his Slurpuff. And he's shuffling his hands quite quick, so I can't really see what he's using. But okay, here we go. He's discarding that water energy.
So do you get toxic damage every round?
In between turns, you will take toxic damage.
Okay. So similar to the video game.
Exactly. In this case, because Burbank City Gym is out there, that will cause 3 damage counters to be put onto the poisoned Pokemon in between turns. So that means there will be 60 damage each round for that Pokemon. Now he used a scoop up for his Seismitoad that is immediately taking all his cards attached to Seismitoad on his hand, and followed up by a Sycamore. Professor Sycamore, trying to get back into this match here. But also Carl is struggling, not having enough energy here in this mirror match. So it's a very interesting match on a very high level. We'll be seeing if he's able to retreat that Slurpuff here. He does have a Muscle Band, which is preventing him from getting another Headringer. using that acrobike to see 2 cards. He can choose one of them, and he decides to take the Versus Seeker.
Do you know Viet, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Do you know Viet? Is he a popular player in Germany?
I personally, I'm personally not sure, but Karl obviously has been chosen for this. Oh, here we go. That's a double color for this featured match, as he's the reigning German champion. And the item lock is on again. Now, he didn't do that much damage. I think it's not poisoned either. But for Karl, it's really about, is he able to bounce back and get himself out of that item lock, draw cards, get that energy, and get himself an item lock as well. He only has that 1 Slurpuff, allowing him to draw 1 additional card per turn. And he used Lysander to get out that Seismitoad, which has a Headringer attached to it.
So he has to take care of the Seismitoad as soon as possible.
He can't attack, but Viet does have a lot of supporters going on. He made sure that he has another supporter with his Versus Seeker in the last round, and I see another double colorless in his hand. However, he can't attack this turn. If he has a switch, but I didn't see it, he would be able. No, there's another Slurpuff. So he will draw another card. He's thinking about it. Yeah, there you go. He draws a card. What was it? I don't think it was a switch. I don't think it was a switch to get back to his fully powered. No, he's giving up that turn. And now Karl is really struggling. He is in need of a double colorless energy very, very soon.
What can Karl do to come back in this game?
Well, a little bit luck would certainly help. Now he's using his Versus Seeker. He drew that Versus Seeker, as we can tell.
Okay.
It's nice and shiny, so that Versus Seeker is from the newest edition, which I like a lot, which is Roaring Skies.
Okay.
And he's taking that Professor Juniper and draws a couple of new cards, and finally he made it and got that double colorless. He's playing another Versus Seeker, also nice and shiny.
So Karl can make a comeback right now.
And the Versus Seeker is allowing him to get a supported card from his discard pile into his hand. He's not allowed to play it yet because he has played one already.
Okay.
And he's trying to discard a energy from Viet's Pokemon, but he flipped Tails. So that energy card will remain. And now Viet will counter that item lock with an attack of his own. Now he has 3 energy cards attached to it. Even his Seismitoad with Headringer is able to use that Quaking Punch.
Okay.
All of the cards you can see, most of the cards you can see in Viet's hand, are just not able to be played currently just because they are item cards. He is discarding the double colorless energy from Karl's Seismitoad though, but as we saw already, this is really a mirror match. Look at these moves. They are so much the same.
Are we going to see a lot of mirror matches today? What are you expecting?
Well, in my opinion, Seismitoad is certainly a deck which we will see more often today.
Okay.
But I'm expecting a good mix of different decks out there. Now, this is mirror matches are bound to happen, and that we are seeing this one in the first round is just random. But it's interesting to see these mirror matches because here it really comes down to, of course, also luck, but also a lot of skill. You have to think about, how am I beating my own deck here?
Okay.
And this is some high-level trading card game going on here.
Are there some techs you do on these Seismitoad X teams to counter your own team a little bit better?
Well, they are already carrying a couple of cards. For example, Xerosic. This is a card that is allowing you to discard either a trainer card or a Pokemon tool, better. Or a special energy card. Okay. And Seismitoad X is heavily relying on these special energy cards, as you can see here, the double colorless energy. Yeah. And this can be very disruptive for my opponent. If I'm getting rid of these double colorless energies, with a little bit of luck, maybe another double colorless is underneath his prizes, and he's running out of these energy cards very soon, not being able to attack and get out of that item lock. Sometimes it really comes down to, am I getting that one turn without an item lock so that I can play my items and my opponent is not able to do that? This can make all the difference in these mirror matches.
Okay, okay.
And now Karl is drawing 7 new cards, and he's getting 3 Slurpuffs out there. So he's set up for a lot of cards each turn. Also, Viet has 2 out already. And another Swirlix waiting for his evolution. And I'm not sure, but Viet is checking his Headringer very often. He's reading the text. I'm not sure if he's planning something, or he's checking that Headringer quite often. And now, oh, he's actually retreating it. Okay, maybe he was checking if that affects the retreat cost. It doesn't.
Okay.
It does only take 3 energy cards to retreat it. And now he's attaching the 3rd energy card to his Seismitoad. That can have 2 reasons, maybe even 3 reasons, but Seismitoad does have a second attack, as you can see here left on the screen.
Oh, Grenade Hammer.
That's Grenade Hammer, and it deals 130 damage, which is much better than Quaking Punch in terms of damage.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also damaging 2 of your benched Pokemon. This is very useful if you need more damage to knock out that Pokemon X from your opponent in 1 turn. But it's opening yourself up to let your opponent play item cards in the next round, obviously.
So you use that Grenade Hammer if you really must get rid of one special Pokemon.
This can be a strategy, or it could also be the final blow you need to draw your last 2 prize cards.
Okay.
And then here's another, and here's the turn. Now, Carl is drawing 3 cards immediately. You can see he's kind of tapping. Magic card players will understand. He's turning his Slurpuff to the side just to indicate that he used their power already. And here's the second advantage we had, attaching a 3rd energy to Seismitoad. If there is another Xerosic coming up, as we just saw from Carl, you only need 1 more basic energy to be able to still attack with your Seismitoad.
I'm really looking forward to learn from you. I hope you guys out there are feeling the same, but I'm really happy that Julian tells us a lot about the game, and I'm really kind of getting into it, I guess.
We have a different mix of viewers out there, so some information will obviously be pretty basic for you. Some of you are still learning the game. But these players are really getting into it. You can see they are playing very quickly. A Quaking Punch from Viet knocked out that Seismitoad from Carl, and he moved a Slurpuff into the active Pokemon spot. Drew 4 cards with the Pokemon powers and got another Seismitoad going on with a Muscle Band attached, dealing 50 damage to Viet's active Seismitoad. Now I can't really tell how many damage counters are on there. I think it's 8. I think Viet's Seismitoad has 80 damage counters on them.
Is Light Pulse, sorry to interrupt you, Light Pulse is kind of to counter a Seismitoad?
No, Light Pulse is not used at all.
Okay.
These decks are not using the attack Light Pulse. Slurpuffs are really just there to have the tasting ability to draw extra cards. This is in order to be able to counter N's trainer cards in the late game. Once you have drawn so many prizes that you only have 2 prizes left, if your opponent plays an N, you will get down to 2 cards in your hand. So Slurpuff will bring you back up in 1 turn to a fairly decent hand size and give you more options in the late game. So these Slurpuffs are just here to support Seismitoad while it's attacking.
Okay, drawing a lot is essential to win the game.
Absolutely, that's right. Now, looking at the prizes, Carl has 5 prizes left and Viet 4, indicating that Viet already knocked out one of the Seismitoads and Carl had knocked out one of the Swirlix. But Viet has quite some damage counters on his Seismitoad, so this is a fairly equal game up to this point. I couldn't tell which way it's going to go, but it looks like the item locks are here to stay. There are quite some Seismitoads well on health, attacking every round. There are Slurpuffs everywhere. Both players are able to draw 3 more cards every round, and everyone's attacking with Quaking Punch every round. So this is why we call it a mirror match. It looks the same. Both players are doing the same things. Now Viet is forced to do something about it because the Seismitoad was knocked out. I can't tell from his hand because he's shuffling so fast if he has another Seismitoad in his hand, which would be healthier than the one on his bench. Let's see, he is hiding his hand from us. Good move. Good on you, Viet. And he's using Xerosic. Now there's a discussion going on. Has he used the supporter this turn already?
I don't know.
We're currently... he's deciding on which card to
what happened?
discard, and he used the Headringer to enable his Seismitoad to attack this turn, to keep up that item lock, because it's just so important. But if I see correctly, this Seismitoad has 150 damage on it already. That means one more Quaking Punch will knock it out. And it does, yeah. Now it's really time for Viet to come back with another Seismitoad.
Julian, what happens if you draw your whole deck?
You can draw your whole deck, that's not a problem, but as soon as you try to draw one more card from your deck and you're not able to do that at the beginning of your turn, you will lose the game.
Oh, okay. So shuffling some cards back into the deck, is that some kind of tactic?
Absolutely, you just have to do that sometimes through the game if you're just moving too quickly through your deck. But Viet is now in a very, very bad spot. He doesn't have a Seismitoad. Now Karl is able to use whatever item card he wants to use. And with 3 more Slurp, just look at this hand, it's amazing. This is not his deck, this is his hand. He has all the options he needs, and he needs to draw. I think just one more prize card, he's away from that 2-1 victory. Now Slurpuff is poisoned, which together with the attack from Seismitoad will deal 80 damage, and he discarded the Float Stone. Oh, so now I think that's game already. It's going to be tough for Viet to withdraw that card, bring another Pokemon active, and bounce back from that blow. That's going to be very, very tough. Karl is in a very good spot here.
Karl is going to win. Is there any chance Viet still got to win this game?
Oh, I can't think of one currently because he's not allowed to play any item cards. There's no way to withdraw that Slurpuff. He's able to draw quite some cards, but just from his body posture, you can see Viet was very fast. Currently, he's not looking too good now. And just look at Karl's turn. It's just beginning. He's just getting faster, and he still has his whole deck in his hand. And now, yeah,
what
damage has been done. There's the Seismitoad. That's step number 1. Now he's trying to get an energy going. He needs to get energy to withdraw that Slurpuff from the active spot. He's not allowed to play a switch. He's not allowed to play the Float Stone. So let's see if he has... No, he's giving up the game. And Karl is winning the first match, the first round of the Pokemon trading card game.
So the champ is on his way again.
Well done, Karl. As you can see there's a better view at Viet and Karl in the front. It was a great game. It was a mirror match from the beginning to the end. And as you can see, it comes down to details sometimes. And having that one turn of being able to use your item cards is just crucial to winning this game. And as you see, Karl maximized on the advantage of having that one turn of using items in this round and in this match.
Okay, that was game breaking.
This was absolutely game breaking. Karl couldn't bounce back from this. It was unlucky for Karl as well because he basically was not able to get a Seismitoad on his bench and attach a double colorless to it. Because he wasn't able to use any item cards throughout the game, he wasn't able to search for one either. So he has to rely on drawing them with his supporter cards. And this comes down to luck, obviously. As we can see, this time Viet just wasn't lucky enough and Karl was taking down the victory.
It's really interesting to see those TCG games going on and see how mirror matches and TCG work. I guess we are going to see one or another mirror match as well in the VGC game.
It's bound to happen, yeah.
I don't know if the game between Marcus and Jonathan already happened. I guess we are still going into it in some seconds. In the meantime, we would be happy if you tweet at PKM 2015 Germany, and we would love to interact with you via Twitter. We can see them on our screen. That would be great.
We will show those tweets in a moment on the screen. While I'm looking at the deck list here, we are talking about, obviously, mirror matches. Now, looking at the deck list we have in front of us here, I can see this is really about this is a mirror match as mirror as it gets. You can see here, though, Karl has a couple of cards in there which we could call tech cards, which are only in the deck for with one card, and that is Jirachi X and Mewtwo X. You saw that Mewtwo in the last turn Karl made. That is opening him up for a couple of more flexibility against certain deck types. That Mewtwo might be strong against fighting Pokemon such as Lucario or Axe. And Jirachi is helpful in a way that if you don't have the possibility of drawing more cards, Jirachi will give you access to one supporter card. You can search that supporter card from your deck and get back into the game. Even if you don't have any trainer cards, you are able to play.
What does Mewtwo X do?
Mewtwo X is also needing only 2 colorless energy to attack. And this will deal damage similar to the amount of energy cards attached to both active Pokemon. Now we hear that there should be a Twitter feed. We currently can't see it on the screen, but we will let you know once we are seeing this on the screen. We have
our personal screen went out right away. Just join us.
While we are waiting on the screen to pop up, I'm still comparing those.
Please.
Those deck lists. So Jirachi X and Mewtwo X certainly were making the difference. And what I found very interesting, I was trying out the Seismitoad X for myself as well, and I can tell you, it's rather frustrating to play against one. But it can be fun to see your opponent being frustrated against you having that item lock on. Now, when it comes to energy, there are 2 different schools of playing that Seismitoad. The one school is saying, I'm fine with 4 double colorless energy, and I don't need more than these. I can always recycle them with Lysander's trump card. The other side is saying, okay, I would like to have more flexibility. I would love to open up myself to maybe be also able to use Grenade Hammer, the 130 damage attack. So I'm putting in more water energy, and I can see here we have 2 different schools. We saw 2 different schools at this table in the last featured match. So Karl was not using any basic energy cards. We didn't see any water energy at all, while Vietwan was investing 3 cards of his deck for basic water energy. Now, comparing a little bit further, looking at the trainer cards.
Are there big differences? I don't see that much.
We see that both players are investing into energy removal. So using that Xerosic we saw a couple of times throughout the match. We see that Karl is maybe prepared a little bit better for those mirror matches as he's investing in 2 Xerosic. That enables him to discard that double colorless energy from his opposing Pokemon for any Pokemon that is carrying a special energy card. While Enhanced Hammer or Crushing Hammer does not work in an item lock. So against other Seismitoad decks, you will have to rely on either Team Flare Grunt, which is discarding an energy card from the active Pokemon from the opponent, or you have to take Xerosic into your deck.
So let's see. Maybe we are going to see the VGC match pretty soon.
Yeah, you can't wait to get into the VGC matches, I can tell.
I'm really looking forward, I'm kind of hyped. I wanted to play myself, but I didn't find the time to participate in some Premier Challenges and Regionals.
Yeah, but why is it that you didn't take part in today?
Because I wanted to do something for the community. I had no chance to win the trip or invite at all, so I was planning on maybe help Amigo to host this event, and they searched some commenters, moderators, and here we are. We are here to talk with you about the game, show you every game, and we're really looking forward to set up our screen again.
There's a great staff team behind us here. You can you only see 2 people here, but it's a room full of people that are supporting not only the featured matches, but also obviously the judges outside. Keep that event running. And we are about to get back into the action, I think. That's a different kind of action. It's advertisement, but we'll be right back after these messages.
See you soon, guys.
See you soon.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock. Jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ring frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ring frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste. Jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ring frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ring frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto-Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto-Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste. Jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
Test von mir, hörst du mich?
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu
Ob wir das
Turnieren,
Team-
Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de.
Start frei für die neueste...
Welcome back to round 2, to the VGC.
Finally.
Actually, the VGC will come up very soon. We have read your chat comments, and believe us, we want to show you the VGC, and we will do so in a couple of minutes. They are getting ready right now, and we have checked all the technical issues. They are gone now. We can make it. We will show you the VGC. Until we are ready for the VGC, there's TCG, coming up. They are starting right now, and as soon as VGC is set up, we will swap over. So let's hop right into the action, into the trading card game between Andy and Muhammad.
But wait for the VGC game as well, because we got live on screen Barry Bass Anderson versus Eloy Hahn. So you better watch out, both are well-known players. But first, let's have a look into the trading card game.
So this time there's not a mirror match coming up, I can tell you that much. Actually, there is not one Seismitoad in these decks. We'll be looking at a Flareon Leafeon deck with Executor from Andy against a Fairy-type deck from Muhammad with obviously Mega Gardevoir featuring it. So this should be interesting. A nice matchup should be making up for a interesting match. The Flareon deck is a very unique deck. It is really based around that Flareon that is able to attack its opponents based on the number of Pokemon that are residing in your discard pile.
Oh, okay.
So the more Pokemon you have discarded, the heavier Flareon's attack. So this is why we see 23 Pokemon in Andy's deck, which is quite a lot for a Pokemon deck nowadays. And his tactic will be to put as many Pokemon into the discard pile as soon as possible, and while doing so, also make use of their certain abilities that they have in the discard pile.
Who do you think got the upper hand in this matchup?
Oh, it's really up to skill, in my opinion. Now, of course, there's also luck involved, but now these decks are so different from each other. It really depends on how fast is Andy able to discard the Pokemon he needs to be able to knock out Gardevoir X or Mega Gardevoir, ideally in just one turn. So looking at Muhammad's deck here, he's obviously featuring Xerneas from XY1, which is putting 2 Fairy-type energy cards to 2 different benched Pokemon, and hence powering up his powerful Pokemon X as soon as possible. So if he's picking up some steam, he should be able to attack in round number 3 with a very powerful either Gardevoir X or Mega Gardevoir. And it's going to be interesting to see if Andy by that time will be able to bounce back. Looking at the deck list from Andy, he's featuring also Empoleon in his deck. Empoleon does not have, in this deck there are no prior evolutions. Obviously he's just relying on Arceus Ace in the hole to get that Empoleon from the discard pile onto the bench and make it active. As I can see, we will be now hopping into the action, so you'll see it in the action very soon.
Für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon.
Oh, and here we go. And actually, we missed it already. The Empoleon is already on the bench, as you can see. Andy's deck on the right-hand side. So he is already... that Empoleon has a very powerful ability that is allowing Andy to discard one of his hand cards onto the discard pile, which he likes, obviously, because he needs those Pokemon in the discard pile, and at the same time drawing 2 cards. So that Empoleon is just working extremely well with that Flareon. And he currently has his EV active. On the other hand, Muhammad does seem to be struggling a little bit because he's starting with a Jirachi X and has also a energy attached to it. So his number 1 priority has to be get that Jirachi back, and that's exactly what he's doing, and get some energy on that Xerneas so it can get some energy out of the deck and attach it to the basic Pokemon. So here we see Andy discarding to a 1 card, and that's actually Swirlix, and get 2 more cards from his deck. And he's going to try and get a Flareon out there. He's also playing Deoxys, which is powering up his evolutions and their attacks by 10 more damage per attack. And we see that Leafeon with a energy attached to it on the bench against fairy-type decks, that's the card you want to have powered up. It only needs that 1 energy to deal 20 damage times the amount of energy my opponent has attached to all of his Pokemon.
Is there any player having the upper hand right now? What do you think?
Well, currently, Andy is having the advantage.
Okay.
I think from what I've seen, he was the one starting the match, and he was able to get an Empoleon on his bench turn 1, which is just perfect from his point of view. And on the other side, Muhammad was struggling because he started with only a Jirachi X as his active Pokemon. With the Fairy Garden gym, he was able to retweet it for free, but he had to attach that Fairy-type card to his Pokemon to do that, so he's losing 1 turn. So right now, Andy is looking good, and he's in a very commanding position. He's retweeting his Eevee and getting right into the offensive. Probably attacking here with...
Oh, he did attack.
It is 30... Yeah, the damage counter says 30, so it's 30 damage for that Xerneas. And now let's see how Muhammad is going to bounce back. He has that Aromatisse out there, which is good because now he's able to swap around Fairy-type energy as he wishes.
Oh, okay.
And he's getting out an N, getting some fresh cards, drawing 6 more cards, shuffling his hand into his deck. Andy's going to do the same. And now Muhammad is in a funny situation. He has his Xerneas active, which allows him to get 2 more energy cards and attach them to 2 of his bench Pokemon. But at the same time, he's enabling that Leafeon to damage him even more, because the more energy cards he has, the more damage Leafeon is going to deal. And he dealt 30 damage because of the Deoxys X on his bench, so that's 20 damage from the attack for 1 energy, and Deoxys X doing 10 more damage.
Oh, and I think we're going to hop into the VGC game in a couple of seconds, I heard.
It's seconds.
Once again, Barry Anderson versus Eloy Hahn. Both have been to Worlds already. Eloy participated in Worlds last year. Barry Anderson 2013. He is the actual CP leader of Europe. Did quite well in this circuit already, and I'm really looking forward which team he is going to bring today to German Nationals live in Stuttgart. And I'm really excited what Eloy is going to bring, because he is very well known for playing exotic teams. So let's have a good look.
Us, trading card games fans. As much as I would love to see the trading card game continue, we also know that we have some VGC fans out there. So let's hop right into the team preview.
Oh, we see Barry's typical standard team with a Leopard, a Scizor, probably Mega Scizor, a Breloom, a Cresselia, a Terrakion, and a Thundurus. Let's see what he's going to bring into this match.
2 Pokemon he's going to choose from. Here we go. It's the first VGC match of the day.
Hype, yeah!
I hope you like it. Leave a chat comment if you like that. We made it finally. Here we go.
So Barry wants to fight, and our screen went on. We see the typical Breloom and Breloom Leopard lead versus the Cresselia.
It's a shiny Cresselia. I like that.
Cresselia and Hitmontop lead. We see the Intimidate going on and hindering the Breloom plus Leopard, but Leopard doesn't really care about Intimidate. But it's a kind of good lead for Barry, because he can just fake out the Capoeira, as we see the German name, and he can spore the Cresselia. So that's a pretty easy way to get the match started, and he is very well known for making good plays. Let's see what he's going to do. Yeah, Hitmontop.
So he's switching out that Hitmontop, and let's see, the 3rd Pokemon is Heatran. So obviously in a good matchup against that Breloom, and Leopard is using that. Ah, perfect, well done. He switched out that Pokemon where he expected the fake out, obviously.
And we see the Icy Wind from Cresselia doing damage to Breloom and Leopard. Now Heatran is guaranteed faster than both Pokemon. Oh, and we see the Spore.
But the Spore.
Oh, and Cresselia goes to sleep. Not a good day to sleep today. Oh, and we see the leftovers by Heatran, so there is no safety goggles or stuff or Shukaberry or Choppleberry even. So it's a pretty easy play for Eloy as he can just go for a Heat Wave. Barry can switch in his Terrakion, I think, expecting the Heat Wave. Let's see what Barry and Eloy are going to do.
Here we go, Cressilia's coming out, has done his job slowing down the two opponents' Pokemon, bringing in that Hydreigon, another nice and shiny Hydreigon.
Oh, yeah, shiny.
And also Liepard is coming back to its trainer. And we see the third Pokemon, it's Terrakion.
Yeah, Barry expected the Heat
It's
Wave.
a double switch.
Oh,
It's
and he
another
got his
Cresselia.
Cresselia.
And Heatran seems to be the only Pokemon willing to attack this turn. It's the Heat Wave, connecting with both opponents' Pokemon.
But Barry predicted that Heat Wave and sent in his Terrakion and Cresselia because he didn't want to get his Breloom knocked out and get his Liepard potentially knocked out. So it was a pretty safe play by Barry's part. And we now see a good matchup for Eloy.
For all of you international viewers, this is a chance for you to learn a little bit German. This is a German screen, as you can see. From what you know from your international games, you know what these comments like Zeitlimit, which is the time limit, mean in your language. And also some of the Pokemon names appear here in German, but we will do our best to translate them into English in real time.
And I have to correct myself, sorry, it is a good matchup for Bass right now on the field, not for Eloy.
So Hydreigon is coming back and Hitmontop is making its second appearance, nice and shiny and dancing in a good mood obviously, and bringing down the attack of Terrakion and also Cresselia.
Hitmontops are very well known for dancing all night long.
I like it. It looks like it has a lot of energy left. And Liepard is also coming back. A lot of switches going on, I noticed that. And
yeah.
A Protect from Heatran. It is obviously protecting against Terrakium's
Close combat.
close combat. Well done. So it's a lost move for both players, isn't it?
No, it was no lost move for Eloy because he brought in his Hitmontop, which intimidated the Terrakion. Now depends on how well the Heatran is trained. Can live a close combat from Terrakion and come back with a flash cannon. So I got a problem. We got a problem on our screen. Now it's coming back. Here we go. Okay, let's see what's going on there. Pretty good battle until yet. Both players are switching really good. Both players try to get the upper hand on the field. So is Barry doing again, switching out his Terrakion for his Cresselia. And Barry goes for Fake Out to fake the Hitmontop out. So no Protect from Eloy's side because he's in fear of the Prankster Encore Liepard God. So once you protect yourself, Liepard can Encore you into that Protect and makes your Pokemon useless. So you have to switch out or just stay useless on the field. It's a pretty equal game actually. Both players are trying to get always the upper hand on the table. It's lasting relatively long for a Liepard Loom team. And Bess is really known for playing that team the whole season, so everybody...
Here's that Encore from Liepard onto that Heatran. So it's going to be locked into that one move. And Cresselia is powering up its special attack and also defense with a Calm Mind.
That's pretty tough versus the Heatran.
And Heatran is trying to get that Liepard down. No, it's not enough. But now Hitmontop is finishing this Liepard and is knocking out the first Pokemon of the match.
The first KO we see today in Stuttgart. He doubled up into that Liepard. So Eloy is ahead with 4 Pokemon against 3 Pokemon, but 1 Pokemon is still asleep from Eloy. It's Cresselia. So let's have a look. Bess is just in the corner to lose this game unless Cresselia Calm Minds up.
What is
And
Eloy's strategy against Cresselia powering up its special forces?
depends on what the Heatran runs. He may burn it with Heat Wave. Oh, he wanted to do the Heat Wave, but he just recognized that he's still on court into the Earth power.
This might and will affect his decision making. Does he have to switch Heatran out, or will he continue using Earth power?
I guess he will switch it out. He got the Hydreigon in the back, which can Dark Pulse the Cresselia, commanding up. Dark Pulse is super effective against the Cresselia and can potentially flinch it to the win, but it's also scared by the Breloom. So let's see what he's going to do.
So Heatran's going back as predicted by you, Sebastian, and it's going to be another Cresselia facing the battle, and it's still asleep.
Oh, when he's paused.
And another Pokemon going to sleep with Hitmontop because Breloom is getting out its Spore.
Oh, when we see Hidden Power around by Cresselia. We've seen it before in regionals. And he wanted to catch the Heatran, but Eloy predicted that pretty well and switched in the Cresselia, absorbing the Hidden Power round.
Quite a tired pack of Pokemon now on the field. What do you do if both of your Pokemon are asleep?
That's pretty tough. That's really pretty tough. You try to avoid getting 2 or more Pokemon fall asleep. It's pretty hard to do anything. You don't want to switch in because you don't want to have more Pokemon asleep. You just hope you only get 2 or 3 rounds of sleep.
And the Bullet Seed from Breloom and another Calm Mind. It's obviously making use of the additional time Barry now has to power up his Cresselia, while both of Eloy's Pokemon are still asleep.
So we see the timer. We still got 6 minutes to go. I don't think that Eloy is going to play on time. He's ahead for 3. I want to explain the timer for those who didn't play on an official event yet. If the timer is over, you see it there called Zeitlimit 6 minutes and 30. When it's over, you win when you got more Pokemon as your opponent. If you got equal Pokemon, you win if you got more HP left. So that's a pretty standard tactic to win against like double teams, which rely on minimize or double team to win the game. You just time stall them. So time stall is sometimes a good tactic.
Oh, Hitmontop is coming back. It's seen enough of that sleep already. It's Hydreigon coming into the battle ring.
And the protected
is protecting, obviously anticipating one of the Pokemon to wake up, but that's not the case. Cresselia is still asleep. And it's opposing Cresselia is using Ice Storm, a very effective move against that Hydreigon, and it's taking 50% of that health, also slowing down both Pokemon.
And now I think Barry is going to double up into that Hydreigon. I bet he's going to just match punch it and Icy Wind again. But he's still in fear of the sleeping Cresselia, who can potentially kill the Breloom. But I bet, yeah, it's going out.
Hydreigon is coming back again, and that tired Hitmontop
is coming in again. I guess Eloy and his team didn't get that much sleep yesterday.
It's at least intimidating both of the opposing Pokemon, which is only relevant to the Breloom. Taking the Bullet Seed again to that Cresselia, which is still asleep.
But that takes like literally nothing. I guess it's heavily trained into defense. Oh, when we see a crit, the first crit. And Cresselia is just hanging on
another Ice Storm coming out. Is that enough? Oh no, Cresselia is barely hanging on with 6
still
HP.
live.
Now can it make use of it and wake up this turn? No, it's still asleep.
3 turns sleep. But maybe Eloy can make use of it because he didn't lose a single Pokemon yet. Let's see what he's going to do. The Hitmontop looks tired and dances a little bit slowlier. Barry is now in a pretty good spot because the Cresselia doesn't even do anymore much to the Breloom, his only fear. Breloom can just take it out yet. He got his own Cresselia at +2/+2, so it's pretty strong right now and can take out the Hitmontop. And Barry is about to win this game unless Eloy is reaching the timer with 4 Pokemon, but I bet he won't. So he's still thinking and 3 seconds left. Better do something, Eloy.
Now that Cresselia is coming back, so he's
Oh.
saving it for later or trying to save it from fainting. And in comes that Heatran again.
And he match punches into that Heatran, which
Nice.
hurts.
That's about
But-
1/3 of its health. And there's a Psychic attack on Hitmontop, and it can't withstand that
Oh.
attack. Hitmontop is going down. And now we're back to even.
We're back to even, but Barry is in front. He got that hidden power ground, which kills Heatran. He got that Breloom, which can just match punch the Hydreigon. So
Which is coming out right now.
let's have a look. Barry is far ahead. We have to see some wonderful plays by Eloy, but it's hard to make it back. It's really hard to make it back in this step of the game. Both Pokemon of Barry threatened the both Pokemon. Eloy still got. And Eloy is okay. So the Hydreigon.
Another protect from Hydreigon.
And here we go. We see the hidden power ground,
Which is enough to take down the Heatran.
and it faints. It faints. So that's it for Barry Anderson.
And the Breloom couldn't connect with Hydreigon, which was protecting itself. And now Cresselia fast asleep, and Hydreigon only down to half of its health. That's a bad matchup for Eloy now.
Yeah, because the Cresselia can just easy win both Pokemon and take him out.
And that's a rather quick turn. We see Breloom taking out that Cresselia before it even can try to wake up.
Oh, and we see the Rocky helmet on Cresselia.
Dealing some damage to Breloom. And finally, Hydreigon is doing some work, but we can see, oh, it's not even doing half with all the Calm Minds Cresselia has done. And here comes the Icy Wind.
And
Is
that's
it going to be
it.
enough?
That's it. Yeah, I bet so. I bet so. That's it.
Hydreigon goes down. And the first match goes to Barry.
Barry Best Anderson wins versus Eloy Hahn. Here we go. Watch out the next. Here we go again. Hello, ladies and we hope you enjoyed the first VGC match we could show you. We want to see your Twitter feeds. Please Twitter at us. Give us feedback how we are doing, what you want to see, how we can improve our commentary positions. Did you enjoy the match, Julian?
Well, I actually liked it. I'm wondering now, if you're in a position like Eloy has been with two Pokemon of his being asleep and both of them are active, what could possibly be a plan for you to bounce back and come back into the game?
That's pretty tough. That's a pretty tough situation. You have to avoid to get two Pokemon asleep. As everybody knows, Breloom uses Spore. That's a kind of signature attack Breloom likes to do. Barry wants to set that up with a Fake Guard from Leapard. That's his typical lead, Leapard plus Breloom. And you can't protect because you will get Encore into that protect, or you have to switch out. So that's a free Spore again. That's the tactic. You don't want to rely on Spore that much because you never know if the Pokemon just sleeps one turn or 2 turns or 3 turns, but we are just heading into the next trading card match again. Oh, and it's still the same match, I think, isn't it, Julian?
It absolutely is. Back into the match here. We want to give you as much action as we can possibly do. You can see in the down left corner the pictures of the two players currently facing each other. That's Andy and Muhammad. Muhammad being on the left-hand side and Andy on the right-hand side, currently shuffling his deck. And now we can see both players are still even. No match has been decided yet. It's still 0-0.
Does a match usually take that long, Julian?
It totally depends on the decks and also the player styles facing each other. But I was suspecting a very close match here. And as you can see, it really seems to be exactly this way. Currently, Aromatiz moved one of the energy cards from the Xenias, that active Xenias, and now I think he's attacking and taking 2 more Fairy-type energy cards and attached them to 2 different Pokemon on his bench. So he's powering up that Gardevoir X we can see there.
Can you tell me who got the upper hand in this matchup right now?
Well, I can see that the prize cards are evenly divided. I think I
Okay.
see 3 prize cards for Muhammad and also 3 prize cards for Andy, who is currently attaching a double colorless energy to Flareon. Now, I can't see the discard pile for Andy. It looks like he has used one of Lysander's trump cards already because it looks rather empty. Look at this. There
Oh,
are not
yeah.
many
Yeah, yeah.
Pokemon. It looks like there are 2 or 3 Pokemon maybe. So he's using Versus Seeker and bringing out that Jirachi. And I think with its fire weakness, it could be enough. He's counting with Deoxys. Yes, it's enough to deal the knockout to Jirachi. And now there's only 1 prize card left for Andy. And Muhammad is in a very, well, I wouldn't say bad spot because he's able to directly deal a knockout to Flareon.
Okay.
But let's see if he's able to bounce back before Andy takes that last prize.
As I told you about the timer in the video game, is there any play with the timer as well?
There actually is, yes. I don't think that it's important at this point because as you can see, the trading card players have more time than in VGC because it just takes more time. You also have to shuffle manually, right?
Okay.
As we see that Gardevoir X is evolving into Mega Gardevoir, it's not ending its turn because it has the Spirit Link attached to it. And we see his hand. Yeah, there's another Gardevoir. And is he choosing to also play some more basic Pokemon on his bench? I don't think he has to. And he opts not to. I think he's attaching another Fairy Energy, which now brings him up to 5 energy in total. He's moving 1 with Aromatisse. Now with 5 energy, that's enough to deal the knockout for Flareon. Gardevoir's attack is allowing him to deal 30 damage times the amount of Fairy type energy in play for him. So that's 5 times 30, which is 150. That's enough for every Pokemon Andy has in play except that Deoxys on the bench.
Oh, that's a big deal. Being able to take out almost every Pokemon on the opponent's side, isn't it?
It is, and now Andy's big challenge is going to be, how am I going to take that last prize card? There's one weakness in Muhammad's bench currently, and that is sitting on the bench right now with the Spiritomb. It only has, I think it's 70 HP. I can't read it right now. I don't know by heart. But if he's able to bring that in front and attack with that Empoleon, he's going to be able to draw that last prize card. But it looks like he's getting that Jirachi. Maybe he's getting ready to search that Lysander with Jirachi. Empoleon is dealing damage 10 times the number of Pokemon in play, and that's currently 90 damage. Well, I think he has used one of his supporters already, so he can't use that Jirachi. Now, I think this is it. This is it. Yes.
That's game.
Before Andy was able to use that Lysander on that Spiritomb on the bench, Muhammad acted himself and pulled up that Jirachi, deal 150 damage, and knock it out for the 2 prize cards left. As you can see, that Jirachi is a 2-sided edge. Sometimes it really saves your life because there's nothing you can do without it. You maybe are lacking supporters, or you don't have enough cards in hand. So you play Jirachi to get, for example, Professor Juniper. But at the same time, now that Jirachi with its only 90 HP is sitting on his bench, being an X-Pokemon, it's easy for your opponent to bring it in front into the active spot, attack it, and draw 2 prizes with rather little effort.
Or you draw 2 prizes by taking out an X-Pokemon,
That's exactly right.
I get it.
So in an ideal world, you would be able to only have to knock out 3 Pokemon X to be able to draw that the 6 prize cards. So that Jirachi is a strength and weakness of decks at the same time. While we are seeing each player shuffling their decks and drawing 7 cards for the second round. Now the score is Muhammad 1 and Andy 0.
Well, let's see what happens in this match. 6 prize cards. Yeah, here we go. Julian, can you explain me what's happening right now on the field?
So that Spiritomb has a very interesting Pokemon power. It does disallows players to play A-spec cards, which is, for example, computer search. You can see here. It looks like he's playing computer search, but he really did play that Ultra Ball, so he's not breaking the rules at all. Otherwise, we would have to call the judge right away. No, but he's getting out that Xerneas and put it on his bench, while at the same time attaching a Fairy Energy to Spiritomb to be able to retreat it next turn without any cost because of the Fairy Garden Gym being active. And on the other side, now that it's Andy's turn, I have to say, playing against the Flareon deck like Andy's can be almost as frustrating as playing against Seismitoad, because Andy's turns will take rather long. He has quite some decisions to make. He has a lot of cards, a lot of item cards he's playing. As you can see here, he used the Battle Compressor to get out 2 of the executes, and he can use them to play Ultra Balls for free. Otherwise, you would have to discard 2 cards to use an Ultra Ball. Now that he can use Execute, he doesn't have to discard any of them.
That's a good deal.
He's getting out that Eevee to prepare him for either a Leafeon, and he's evolving that Ditto right away. He can use it, that ability from Ditto, to put any basic Pokemon on it.
Okay.
And he's following it up with a Professor Sycamore, allowing him to draw 7 cards.
What's the ability Energy Evolution by Eevee?
Energy Evolution allows Eevee to evolve into the type of evolution of the energy which is currently attached to Eevee. So if I'm attaching a Fairy type energy to Eevee, I'm allowed to search out my deck for a Sylveon. In this deck, however, it's mainly used for Leafeon, because this deck is only featuring, if I'm looking here at the deck list, it's only featuring Flareon and Leafeon, and he's not playing any fire energies whatsoever. So this power allows him to search out that Leafeon we can see here on the left-hand side, and use that Energy Crush, which is so powerful against Fairy-type decks. Now there's another Ultra Ball for free. You can see here, this is what I meant. We are talking for minutes already, and this turn of Andy's is taking... is going on and on and on. He's playing another Battle Compressor.
That's the difference between the video game and the trading card game. You got the timer in the video game, which allows you not to take as long as you want for the turn, and we can see here that it's taking almost minutes for a turn to end in the trading card game.
Absolutely right. And now he put 3 EVs down, which is nice. So he does have some EVs to bounce back on. Now, there's some confusion around the Spiritomb. I'm not sure. Has Andy played any A-spec card last turn? Has he played his computer search? He's looking through his discard pile. I don't. Did he? I don't think so. Now.
There's a second Eevee on the bench, isn't it? I'm seeing correctly.
I'm not sure what the players were talking about. As I can see here, Andy is sorting his discard pile, bringing up those Pokemon so you can easily count them. It looks like has Muhammad's turn ended already? Yeah, it's a little bit confusing currently.
Well,
to me, because
it's even more confusing to me, Julian.
No, I can tell. I can tell. Don't worry. Okay, no, it's a bad spot for Muhammad currently. He wasn't able to do anything during his last turn, which is very unfortunate. I can see a Gardevoir X in his hand and also a Spirit Link to attach it to, but it wouldn't do him any good. He doesn't have any energy. He can't bring that Xerneas in front and use its attack to search out Fairy Energy types. And now Andy is picking up some steam here and deciding which Eevee to evolve. He is choosing his benched Eevee for Flareon and a Floatstone for his active one. He's bringing Leafeon in front, and I think he's just dealing 20 damage. Yeah, Muhammad is pointing out a dice with 20 damage, and now he's bringing out that Gardevoir. Oh, it just doesn't look too good. No,
Oh, is he giving
Oh,
up?
well,
No.
it's using Spiritomb. So it's attacking with Spiritomb to draw as many cards as his opponents. So as long as his Spiritomb is alive, he has some options, but he has not been too lucky now with drawing cards. But now I can see finally a fairy type energy in Muhammad's hand, while Andy is searching his deck for a Deoxys, it looks like. Putting it on a bench, and there comes a Professor Sycamore for 7 more cards. I see double colorless energy. He is kicking the Fairy Gardens for the training center. This is increasing the amount of HP of evolved Pokemon by, I think it's 30, should be 30.
Okay.
And now Leafeon is using its second attack. No, it can't use the second attack because it's water type energy. I think the two players are arguing about it currently. Yeah, it's only 20, just because there's only one fairy type energy attached to Muhammad's Pokemon. So I think there was some confusion around for Andy. He might have made a mistake here, not have noticed that it's actually a water type energy attached to Leafeon.
Oh.
Otherwise, I don't see a reason for him to attach that double colorless. And now,
Maybe he's a bit nervous.
it's always a different situation if you sit in the featured match at the featured match table.
Yeah.
It can be intimidating because all eyes on you, right?
Yeah.
Not only does the internet see what you are doing, all the good and bad plays maybe, but also people are watching from the hall beside you and try to learn something from you. So the pressure is really on with all the decisions you make.
That's kind of similar to the video game. Some people like to play on the stage, some people don't. I myself like it very much. There are players like Billa who like it really much and like the crowd cheering for them. And some people just don't want to get seen that good and just want to play the game. That's always up to the player. But I think cheering is what's Pokemon for, what we want to see. And I myself cheer a lot when I see Pokemon games, and I hope to cheer a lot today.
Something to cheer about for Muhammad as he is pulling out 2 fairy type energy cards, finally getting up some speed here for his deck, as Andy is using his Acrobike to draw 1 of 2 cards he's currently looking at. There's another Jirachi. Now he's probably thinking about it. Last time Jirachi was... Yeah, now he's discarding it. Maybe he was thinking about that last game where he lost because of Jirachi. He's using Town Map to reveal all his prize cards. Now, every time he's drawing a prize card, he can decide what he would like to take as a prize.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an energy, I think a grass energy in his hand. He's playing with it. First of all, he's playing the Battle Compressor. Maybe he's thinking about attaching it to Leafeon. Battle Compressor was rather quick. Looking at his deck, I don't think there are many cards left. The discard pile is so much bigger than his deck. Sooner or later, he will have to play Lysander's trump card to shuffle all those cards back into his deck.
Okay.
On the flip side, we see Muhammad. Muhammad's deck is still healthy. He hasn't been able to draw that many cards during his last turns, but now it looks like he's getting back into the game, playing an Ultra Ball. Maybe he's looking for another Gardevoir, or yes, what he's currently missing is an Aromatiz. So Aromatiz will be able to move Fairy type energy between his Pokemon next turn once he evolves. And before that happens, he will be able to use the attack another time, get 2 more energy cards, and then he will have 5 energy cards to play with.
Oh, Fairy Transfer seems like a pretty good ability, isn't it? When you can decide with which Pokemon to attack, or
it makes Fairy type decks worthwhile. That's such an important card for Fairy type decks. Together with the Xanias we are seeing here on the left-hand side, if it's using Geomancy, for us Germans not so easy to pronounce, I'm sorry for that. you can attach one fairy type energy at one bench Pokemon for up to 2 Pokemon. And while you would like to power up only one Pokemon, you can use that Aromatiz to then take those 2 energy cards and attach it to whatever Pokemon you would like. And this makes these decks so flexible. Now we can see finally he uses that grass energy, and Eevee's Pokemon power energy evolution makes it evolve into Leafeon right away. It has that 1 energy card it needs to bounce back. And now if you count the fairy type energy cards on Muhammad's side, that would deal already 100 damage because of the 5 fairy types. We see there is I think it's Silver Mirror in English. I'm sorry if that's the wrong word for it. I think it's Silver Mirror attached to Xerneas. That's why the Team Plasma Pokemon Leafeon can't touch it. It's preventing him from getting any damage out of it, so it's a nice counter card for exactly the deck Andy is playing, and he will have to find a way to play around it. Now we see Muhammad looking through his deck for a trainer card as he's playing Skylar. A very beautiful card in my opinion.
And good as well.
He's playing it, so it better be good. I think it's good. In my opinion, it's good. It is a supporter card allowing you to search for a trainer. So if you would like to play that trainer card, it better be an item card or a stadium card. But he's looking for a supporter to play next turn. That's Professor Juniper. So he's setting himself up to draw 7 cards next turn. That's his decision here. And now he's using Aromatiz Pokemon Power to move 3 energy cards to Xerneas and using its second attack, which is dealing exactly 100 damage while at the same time discarding 1 fairy type energy. And that's enough for the first knockout of the game. It's really the first knockout we've seen in this match, in this game, I'm sorry.
And only 7 minutes left.
You can see Xerneas not only powerful, known for its first attack, but also for its Rainbow Spear attack it just used. And it still has that Silver Mirror attached to it. So what's Andy going to do? He will need to find a Statling Megaphone to discard all the tools Muhammad has attached to his Pokemon, but he doesn't find it. He's really, really in a bad situation currently. He just can't do anything to touch the Xerneas. And Muhammad is just
sitting in a good position.
Absolutely. He's playing his supporter cards, he's playing his Juniper, he's feeling good. I would be feeling good if I was Muhammad currently.
Whoa, Professor Juniper looks like a huge trainer card, isn't it?
You have to play that card 4 times, or Professor Sycamore. It's just so important. It's so critical to every deck to be able to draw more cards, discard your bad hand, and start over again with 7 cards. Another time, Aromatiz puts his Pokemon Power to work, attaching another energy to Xerneas and knocking out another Leafeon.
Whoa.
And what's Andy going to do? He's looking at an N here, I think, or a Versus Seeker. Yeah, let's see what he's got. I'm not sure if he's playing. Let's see. We have his deck list here. Does he play a Statling Megaphone? Looking at Andy's deck. Oh, he's not.
No.
Oh, that's. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do in this spot. If he can't counter that 1 card and he's not looking too good, he has to find a Pokemon that is able to attack him, which is not part of Team Plasma. The other way around would be using Lysander and putting out a Pokemon from Muhammad's bench and attack that because it's not attached with the Silver Mirror. So now, for example, Empoleon, which he's currently discarding with the Battle Compressor, would be the Pokemon he's looking at. This would be the #1 alternative to all the evolutions to attack with. He needs that water energy, though. He's only using 1 water energy, and if he doesn't find that, Empoleon's not going to be able to attack. He's looking through his deck here. Is it left? I haven't seen it yet. It's not attached to any of the Pokemon. It might be part of the discard pile already, as the time is also running out.
What's happening when the time is running out, Julian?
Players will have 3 more turns. The active player ends his turn.
Ah, okay.
Then there will be 3 more turns. Player 1, player 2, player 1, and that's it. By that time, if the score is 1-0, they will count the prize cards, and the player with less prize cards will win the game.
Okay.
If the score is 1-1 and none of the players has won the game by that time, the game is declared as a draw. So currently the time, everything in this match is working for Muhammad. Andy is still not able to get that Empoleon to work.
That's all he need.
Well, even if he had it, it wouldn't do him any good, I think.
Okay.
So if I have to correct myself, I'm sorry. As you can see, I'm a commentator, not a judge. If it's 1-0, the time's running out, it's 1-0.
I don't blame you.
But this is why we have so many colleagues here in the room and also in the hall helping and supporting us to make this tournament run as smoothly as possible. The good thing is that I'm locked down here at the commentator booth and not running around as a judge making wrong decisions. So you guys will have to bear with me. There's another Professor Juniper from Muhammad drawing 7 cards. Now his deck is thinned out a little bit as well, but he is just looking good. I think he realized that he's won this game. There's nothing that can stop him really. Empoleon, yeah, now he has to make that Deoxys active. There's a God of War X waiting to attack her with all its power. There are only 2 prize cards left. It's only a matter of time until Muhammad will have won it. Also, Andy's body posture tells you that he has probably given up on this game already. And who could blame him? It's just such a bad spot to be in.
I don't want to be in that spot.
He passed. There's really nothing he can do. He's just waiting for Muhammad to make his move. I'm expecting him to retreat Xerneas now. Yeah, now there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Even though Deoxys is a Team Plasma Pokemon, it just can't deal enough damage to touch the Mega God of War. Now there are 4 Fairy type energy in play, so this attack should deal 120 damage. Ready for a 2-hit KO. Not really sure what Muhammad is doing currently. There's really nothing he has to be afraid of. He is looking through his deck for another Pokemon. Not really sure what he's looking for, really. Maybe he just wants to see what's available. That God of War is not really necessarily either. And Andy's just waiting for his fate. He just wants to
poor Andy.
Let Muhammad make his move. There is 120 damage. Yeah, Andy can't do anything. He's giving up. Well played by Muhammad. It really came down to 1 card that won Muhammad the game, and this was the mirror he was playing. It's the Silver Mirror. It's the name in English. That was preventing damage from Team Plasma Pokemon. And if you don't have anything to remove that trainer card, that Pokemon tool, there's really nothing that Andy can do.
What's a Team Plasma Pokemon, by the way?
Team Plasma, as you know, also from the video games, was the bad organization that was... wait, Team Plasma was the organization. What were they trying to do? They were trying to capture all the Pokemon and release them. I think they wanted to get rid of the Pokeballs. Wasn't that the...
I think so, but I'm not that sure, since it's a long time ago I played the games for fun.
I'm not sure either. Maybe you can help us with a tweet or a comment in the Twitch chat. I'm not really sure what Team Plasma was all about and what kind of world domination plan they had. I'm sure they wanted to dominate the world. Who doesn't want to dominate the world?
Like Team... Oh, here we go. We are again on screen.
Yeah, you can see us. We want to dominate the world as well. As you can see here, we are in our small commentator booth, trying to figure out what Team Plasma does. But what I can tell you about Team Plasma Pokemon is they are a little bit different than other Pokemon in the trading card game. They have a blue border to them, so you can differentiate them rather easily. And because they belong to Team Plasma, certain cards play well with them. For example, there are cards like Team Plasma Ball, which allows you to search your deck for 1 Team Plasma Pokemon. Not any Pokemon, but only Team Plasma. So it's really narrowing down the type of Pokemon you can use with certain trainer cards and other abilities. And it makes up for some nice combinations. So Team Plasma Pokemon have their advantages, but also, of course, their weaknesses, as we saw with the Silver Mirror.
Oh, nice. So that's kind of a deck style Team Plasma?
Absolutely. There are even decks that only only use Team Plasma cards. They're not that popular nowadays. Maybe you remember the Lugia X decks.
I remember them, yeah.
Lugia X is all about drawing more prize cards than you're entitled to, because Lugia X Pokemon power would allow you to, if you knock out an opponent Pokemon, just draw one more prize card.
Okay.
So that makes it very powerful. And there are a couple of trainer cards which allows Lugia to get powered up a little bit quicker than it would usually do. So there are decks that are only based around Team Plasma cards. This one is featuring them as well. However, there are some ways to use, for example, Empoleon. Andy was playing 2 Empoleon, which are not belonging to Team Plasma, which could have been able to attack, but they are tough to put onto the bench. So currently on the screen you see some tweets. We would love to see them as well. You can imagine. However, there's just some minor technical issues. You have to excuse this. We are a small team trying to figure out the technical issues we have. Every time we show you our tweets, we actually don't see them. I hope you guys are not saying anything bad about us, because that's why our technical team is not showing us. It's only showing us the back screen. I hope this is not the case.
Oh, here we go again.
But now maybe the tweets will be shown on our screen as well. We would love to interact with you on Twitter as well.
That's what Pokemon
as long as
is
you
for.
don't say anything bad.
Each time the Twitter comes up, our screen goes down.
You see it. That's the most important part. You see the Twitter feeds. You communicate with each other. We communicate with each other.
That's what we do.
That's our world, right? We are here in the commentator booth. There's nothing else we can talk to but ourselves and the camera.
And we love to commentate on Pokemon games today.
Well, that's true. That's our job. No, but actually, it's a pleasure to be here while we try to figure out the tweets. What's coming up is going to be more action from VGC and also the trading card game.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out the timing we will have until the next VGC round. About 2 to 3 minutes, I hear, which is optimistic. He's making that face now. He's not committing to the 2 to 3 minutes, but as you can imagine, we try to bring you as much action as as we possibly can. And VGC is going to be next. We know you love VGC. We love VGC.
We love VGC.
I love TCG as well. However,
I'm getting into love it.
It's popular demand. It's popular demand to be at VGC next, so that we can get our voices back. We will have some adverts coming up, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Startfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel.
I like what I hear from
passend zur
commentators.
Pokémon TV-Serie.
Keep it up.
Keep
it up. Go Kelly.
Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto
We love you
Shock.
too.
Jetzt im Handel.
I need something to...
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Startfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ringfrei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de
neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Phantomkräfte, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa. Währenddessen gibt es bereits alle 2 Wochen einen neuen Bisa-Cast, immer zu anderen spannenden Themen. Austauschen können sich die Fans im Bisa-Board mit über 60.000 Mitgliedern, die größte deutsche Pokémon-Community.
Ring frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Fliegende Fäuste, jetzt im Handel.
PlayOn.de, deine Community rund um das Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel. Erhalte brandaktuelle News zu Turnieren, Kartenabbildungen zu allen deutschen und englischen Pokémon-Karten. Öffne virtuelle Booster-Packs, verwalte deine Kartensammlung und finde passende Tauschpartner und lerne von Decklisten der weltbesten Spieler. www.playon.de rund
Start frei für die neueste Pokémon-Sammelkartenspielerweiterung, passend zur Pokémon TV-Serie. Pokémon-Sammelkartenspiel XY Proto Shock, jetzt im Handel.
Jeden Monat wird ein neuer Teil des Bisa-Comics veröffentlicht. Natürlich immer mit Bisa.